the Velvet Underground and Nico on Six Music, all tomorrow's parties. I'm going to send a special shout out to Chris Maudsley, who's been in touch to recount his first experience of Hole. He says in Reading of 1994, just incredible power and strength, such an unforgettable performance. And well, if you are just coming in, welcome. It's Marianne Hobbs, and it is Courtney Love Forever today on Six. And in this moment, we welcome Sean Slade and Paul Kolderie, producers of the whole album Live Through This, to talk to us about the experience of working in the studio with Courtney and the band 30 years ago.
Courtney Love Forever.
Hey, I'm Paul Q. Kolderie.
And I'm Sean Slade.
And we were the producers of Live Through This by Hole in 1993.
Right, at Triclops Studio in Atlanta, Georgia in the fall of 1993.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, we cut the band tracks live. We set the band up as if they were playing a show, everybody playing all at once. And then once we got takes that we thought were exciting, then we went back and we worked on vocals with Courtney, and then we worked on guitars with Eric. So after, I think the first week was spent on getting exciting takes, which we were able to pull off, and everybody was really happy after that first week. And then we settled into a routine of recording guitars in the early afternoon, into the late afternoon when Courtney would come into the studio, and then we'd switch over to Courtney singing. And we tried to get in a vocal session every day.
One track that was interesting was Asking For It, because that was written in the studio, kind of assembled in the studio. So we all kind of did that together. I'm not saying I wrote the song, but everybody was encouraged we kind of put it all together from pieces, and it came out great. And so that's a big one, but the whole experience was unique. So no one ever talked about a single at that point, because Nirvana had redefined the whole thing, the whole genre kind of, and obviously Smells Like Teen Spirit was a single, but really that whole album succeeded because it was so consistent and good. And I think in our minds, the idea was to make a record that was as good as it could be.
But yeah, and thank God we weren't talking about singles, because it's been our experience that when you start talking about singles, whatever song is designated a single ends up getting ruined.
Yeah.
Because it's completely overthought and everybody freaks out about it and overthinks it. So the whole idea that we were making, in some ways a rock album, but in some ways an art rock album, was the